Okay, continuing on the 14-inch RCA, got the picture tube removed from the set, and this does not appear to be a rebuilt tube, I don't think. If it is, they did a really good job of re-welding that neck back on, but tube appears to be in really good shape. So, and as we saw in the last video, it tests really well. Just need to do a little cleaning on it. And this is the yoke cover, the old plastic yoke covers from these late 50s TVs usually are in this condition. Actually, in this one I probably will be able to get away with reusing. Try not to handle it too much. But anyway, really easy to get the picture tube out. Just one bracket that holds it on. So now we can get a really good look at the underside of the chassis. Here's the yoke, and I haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do. I may detach these or unsolder these wires and completely get the yoke out of the way, or I may bag it and tie it off, because I'm going to be doing quite a bit of work under this chassis recapping, and I don't want to take a chance on damaging any of these coils. You damage some of these coils and you got big problems. But as you can see, we can get a little better look now what's going on underneath this chassis. A lot of wax caps. This is the main filter cap. It's 150 microfarad at 200 volts. Let's see, here's filter choke. I think this is a vertical output transformer and audio output transformer. And you can see quite a few wax caps that are going to have to come out. There's probably 10. There's a bumblebee there. And then some of those old black Sprague looking caps. And there's a couple of power resistors here that I'll need to check those values. And this dog bone one here, those are prone to failure. So I'll check all those resistors real good. And I know I said last time the first thing I was going to do was pull the printed circuit board. I have since changed my mind. I think I'm going to begin work here, get all of this done, and then reassemble it and fire it up and see what, if any, effect that had on the performance of the TV. Interesting note, I have picked up a copy of the SAMs, and in the SAMs it shows that there would be a selenium rectifier here and a selenium rectifier here, and you notice I don't have any selenium rectifiers. That's good news, because there are diodes, or a diode right there, and a fuse. I don't know if you can see that, but that's obviously an upgrade. It may have been a later production run change, or it's possible that somebody put that in as a repair. Not sure. I ran into that same problem on that little Zenith radio. I guess it's not a problem, or same dilemma as the Zenith radio. The other thing that I was able to confirm is what I thought. These 1, 2, 3, 4, these 5 caps right here, those are replacements. Those are not original. What was in before was more like this stand-up paper type cap, I guess it is. Here's another one. This is a Black Beauty tubular stand-up cap. That's these were replacements for a cap that was either laying down on its side, tubular cap, or one that stood up. So this is a fusible resistor. It's on the power supply. That's a, and there's another power resistor right here too. It's actually on that board. I haven't really figured out what that is yet. And let's see, that's about it. That I either have replacements for bad tubes, or if I don't, then I'm going to put in an order and make sure I have a good set of tubes for this set. I'm going to do this recapping work here, and then I will try to fire it back up. So that's what I'm going to start doing first. I've also got to put in an order for some electrolytics. I generally keep a good supply, a good stock of caps on hand, and that includes the electrolytics, but for some reason I guess I've let my supply run low. I don't have hardly any electrolytics, so I'm going to have to put in an order for those as well. So anyway, but I guess I'll start tackling recapping and checking resistors here. Okay, continuing on with the recapping work on the inner side of the chassis. You can see I've made some progress on recapping. Still have a couple more caps over here to go. I've got those on order, so it's not quite done, and I also don't have the electrolytics changed yet, but kind of making this portion of the video for myself for reference. A note here real quick. This is a 1.5 meg ohm resistor that was obviously put in here. That is obviously not factory soldering work. And if you come and look at the schematic, here's that resistor R55 that comes off of pin 2 of the CRT. Goes on down, then around, and is part of the vertical circuit coming ultimately off of the vertical output. So I'm a little bit confused as to why anyone would have replaced a 22K resistor with a 1.5 mag. I'm not real sure why someone would do that. If I remember correctly, in our baseline we had a slight vertical problem, but anyway, I'm going to go back in with this little guy right here, 22K resistor right there. And this is a great time to use my favorite tool in the whole world, my Hacko 808 solder sucker, which I can use on vintage TVs on occasion. Works just like this. I can hold the camera and do it at the same time. Just sucks. There's a glob of solder on this ground point, and it's great. Just suck solder right out. Come on, camera, focus. Okay, that ended up being a real mess. Couldn't demonstrate the Hack 0808 very well, but you can see here's my grounding lug. If the camera will decide it likes it. Nice and cleaned off. That was a big ball of solder before. But here's the real problem. This terminal right here. I think one of the problems was the terminal had literally busted off. You can see the terminal off the strip was just completely busted off of there, and it was a complete mess. The resistor that was in there, that's obviously not a factory resistor job, and you can see it's measuring right at 1.5 meg, which is not what's supposed to be in there. It's supposed to be a 22K resistor. So after looking at this for a while, I think what I'm going to do is come back in, try to insert this terminal strip right here. This green wire here goes to the CRT connection. I think what I'll do is it's not going to be long enough to reach a new terminal that I'm going to have to put in here. This one's riveted in. I thought about just replacing this whole terminal strip and all the components on it, but it's riveted in, and then directly on the other side of this is the inside of the tuner right here. So I think the easiest thing to do is just undo this bolt here, put in a new terminal strip, rewire it and connect everything, and I think we'll be fine. But that could have been a problem. Could have been a bad connection right there, which is why they kept increasing the resistance to maybe make the set operate correctly. I don't know. But I'm going to go back with what the schematic shows. And with this note on this video, that if I have a vertical problem, then I can start by checking out this. Still a little time out to watch a little Christmas programming on a vintage TV. Not much point in working on vintage TVs if you don't watch a little Christmas time programming. A little Miracle on 34th Street.
Yes.
And then tomorrow is Christmas Eve, and I'll be watching It's a Wonderful Life on this 1952 Philco.
The second party shall, in consideration of the property hereby agree to be conveyed by the first party to the second party. Excuse me, Gertrude. Telephone.